I often get asked where's the best place to raise a family in Philadelphia, or what is the safest areas in the city, or just frankly, where the heck should I live? Now, these are great questions and unfortunately difficult to answer without knowing your exact family and your situation. However, in this video, I'm going to share with you my top 4 neighborhoods for families in Philadelphia, so stay tuned. Hey everyone, this is Chris Fuhrman and this is my channel, Living in Center City, Philadelphia. Welcome, and if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Now, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to learn more about what it's like to live and enjoy Center City, Philadelphia, make sure to tap that subscribe button below and click that notification bell right next to it so you're notified each and every time we put out a brand new video. We actually get a lot of folks that are reaching out to us looking to relocate to the Center City, Philly area, and we love helping them out on their journey. So if you are thinking about making a move and you have any questions about the area, particular neighborhoods, really down to the street level, anything about condo buildings, anything about the market here, what's going on in Center City, Philly, don't hesitate to reach out. We would love to help you out. Just shoot us a quick email. All of our contact info is in the description below, and we'd love to help you out. We really do live and breathe Center City, Philly. All right, let's dive into my top 4 best neighborhoods in Philly for families. Coming in at number 4, we have Graduate Hospital. Just south of Rittenhouse and Fitler Square, Grad Hospital can be found between South Street and Washington Ave to the north and south respectively, and between Broad to the east and Schuylkill River to the west. Graduate Hospital has a charming and residential feel, and is really great for any family looking to move into the city of Philadelphia. Now, if you're raising kids or plan to in the near future, Grad Hospital offers a feeling of being in the city while also having a more low-key and residential vibe, slightly removed from the hustle and bustle of Rittenhouse and Center City. You have your own area to have a quiet night in, as well as be convenient enough where you can take a quick walk or Uber to get to Rittenhouse Square to enjoy a night on the town. While nothing like Rittenhouse, this neighborhood does have restaurants, cafes, and shops. With South Street being its northern border, you have plenty of cuisine options right along South Street, all a quick short walk or Uber from your home. The area also has multiple grocery stores to choose from, only a short distance away, making going to the grocery store for you and your family pretty convenient in the area. There's also a lot going on in the area generally for families, in particular on the weekend, so really there's always something going on around the general vicinity of the Grad Hospital area. Graduate Hospital has some of its own parks and playgrounds for your children, but the massive Schuylkill River Park, playground, and trail and all that entails is really just a 10 to 15 minute walk north of the neighborhood, depending on where you're in Grad Hospital. All of these offer beautiful open and green spaces to let the kids play and get out some of that much needed energy, which seemingly is unlimited. Yes, I've got 2 kids of my own. Or just take a relaxing walk on a sunny afternoon along the trail. The Grad Hospital area is a welcoming neighborhood to live and to raise a family in. There are a ton of families in the area, as well as young professionals and singles as well, and really everyone's looking for the same thing. A nice, friendly, and quiet place to live peaceably with all, which is exactly what you're gonna get in this neighborhood. And if you work at any of the hospitals or medical facilities in the area, or are potentially a student, this is an extremely convenient location to call home. It's just a short walk or bike ride across the South Street Bridge, and then you're into University City, and then a little bit further past that to West Philly. As you probably already know, right over the South Street Bridge, there are a number of medical facilities, hospitals, and the like. So if you're working over there in that area, it is a pretty convenient place to call Grad Hospital home. Now in the Grad Hospital area, you're gonna have a little bit of variety here, anything from townhomes to condo conversions to low-rise condo buildings. You definitely have plenty of options to find your dream home in this particular neighborhood. The median home price in the Graduate Hospital area in 2023 was approximately $615,000. But homes can easily get into the $1+ million range, really depending on a lot of factors, including renovations, how modern it is, how many beds, baths, square footage, and all of that. Now, you can get into a townhome in the neighborhood in the $300,000 range, but I would say a healthier budget for most folks in this area is going to be between $500,000 to $1 million. And as mentioned earlier, you could definitely go above $1 million as well for beautiful homes in the area. And for a 1 or 2 bedroom home, your budget should be somewhere around $300,000 to $700,000. Now, of course, housing can be unpredictable, but these are safe benchmarks to go off should you look more closely into the grad hospital area for you and your family. And this brings us to our third neighborhood on our list today, and that is Fairmount, often referred to as the Art Museum area as well due to the proximity to the Art Museum. It's about 15 minutes north of the grad hospital area or somewhere around 2 miles north. And that brings us into the lovely neighborhood of Fairmount, which again is sometimes referred to as the Art Museum area. So in this area, you're going to be just north of the Barnes Foundation, the Rodin Museum, and the Philadelphia Art Museum is going to be right around the corner as well. Fairmount is going to be north of Logan Square and is located between Girard Ave to the north and Spring Garden to the south, and from Broad Street all the way to the Schuylkill River. Fairmount encompasses a ton of rich history here and a lot of diversity as well in the area. It's a very unique area. While Fairmount is technically outside of a strict definition of Center City, with the northern border of Center City being Spring Garden, so Fairmount is just to the north of that. It's really a great area to raise your family, and a lot of people still would consider this the Center City, Philly area. In some ways, Fairmount is like Grad Hospital in a sense that they're both slightly removed from the hustle and bustle of the downtown area, say Rittenhouse, and have more of a residential vibe, meaning less high-rise condos, less people in the area, less congestion. But in other ways, this area is very different than Grad Hospital. Fairmount has all the amenities your family could really need, making this a perfect place for you and your children to call home. Grocery stores are numerous and easily accessible in the area. You have your choice of Giant, Aldi, Whole Foods, and just a few blocks south of this area into Logan Square, you've got Target. This area has a lot going on for you and your kids, so you'll always have something to do on any given day or weekend. One of the nice amenities of this area is Fairmount Ave, so the street Fairmount Ave. It's home to plenty of bars, cafes, and restaurants. Now, like we said, you're a little bit removed from the hustle and bustle of Center City and Rittenhouse, but you don't have to head to Rittenhouse or Center City to enjoy these amenities. They're right here in the heart of Fairmount. There's also a stellar local hardware store right on Fairmount Ave as well. And really, this part of the neighborhood kind of feels like you're sort of in a small town in some ways. And some people really love that feature of Fairmount. Fairmount Ave is also home to the historic Eastern State Penitentiary, which is America's most historic prison, once home to Al Capone and other notorious outlaws. And if you're looking for something a bit more cultural, you could simply follow Fairmount Ave going to the west, and then you're going to be at the northern end of the museum district, which has plenty of open and green spaces, perfect for relaxing or an afternoon stroll. The Art Museum area is home to a lot of iconic, world-renowned attractions. Obviously, you've got the Philadelphia Museum of Art, then you got the Rocky Steps right in front of that. We also have other things that are fairly popular in the area, the Barnes Foundation, the Rodin Museum. Now, those places might not be the most kid-friendly, but you've got the Franklin Institute and a number of other museums in the area that are designed for kids. And if you're looking for exercise on any given day, you can go run the Rocky Steps yourself. There's always someone running those steps or running in the area, jogging, biking, or whatnot. And as we talked about earlier, you've got the Schuylkill River Trail right over here. So you can run along that, right along Boathouse Row, beautiful views, and you can keep going up to Kelly Drive. And of course, you have the famous and rather large green space of Fairmount Park. Being just north of what is typically referred to as Center City or the downtown area, being in Fairmount, you have the best of both worlds. You've got this quiet enjoyment to raise your family while having easy access to the downtown, to the Center City area for a night on the town. Now, when it comes to your housing options, again, you're gonna have a lot of variety in the area. You're gonna have condos, you're gonna have townhomes, you'll have condo conversions as well. And the median price here in 2023, if you just look at condos, was $430,000. And if you're just looking at townhomes, the median price was $535,000. So if you're looking for, let's say, a 2-bed condo, you're gonna wanna budget somewhere between $300,000 to $500,000, but that could easily go into the $800,000 to the $1 million range, depending on what you're looking for. And a good budget for a 3+ bedroom townhome would be somewhere between maybe $400,000 to $800,000. But certainly easily going into the millions for something large or very nice. All in all, the Fairmount Art Museum area is really a great area for families and offers a quiet feel outside of Center City without being too far from the action. Real quick, and before we get into my next neighborhood pick for you and your family, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button below, that'd be greatly appreciated so that YouTube knows I'm putting out some helpful content. All right, coming in at number 2, we have one of my favorite neighborhoods for families, and that is Queen Village. So now we've transitioned to the east side of Broad. For the prior 2 neighborhoods, we were on the west side of Broad. Broad essentially divides Center City in half. Queen Village is just south of Society Hill, and it was actually one of Philadelphia's first suburbs before it was incorporated into the city in 1854. Queen Village absolutely has its historical roots, but today it is really the center of a lively, diverse, and a modern atmosphere. And its most famous street, South Street, which you've probably heard of, is really an iconic destination with a ton of culture, lots of amenities here. South Street, in short, is a destination in and of itself. It's filled with lively bars, diverse restaurants, extensive nightlife, and lots of culture attractions. Really, there's truly a short list of activities that South Street doesn't have. On South Street, you have festivals, markets, an accepting, hip, and trendy kind of weird culture going on here. Really full of vibrant Philly energy. You've got the Theater of the Living Arts here, the TLA, and that hosts comedy shows, dance shows, really everything in between there, giving you endless opportunities for entertainment. Coupled with the bars and nightlife in the neighborhood, there's a lot going on here. And if you're a foodie and your family likes a lot of different diversity of what they're eating, there's a ton of that on South Street and really throughout the area. There's cuisines from Italian to French, Asian, Middle Eastern, Moroccan, Greek, really the list goes on. And of course, you've got famous Philly cheesesteaks here and things like that. But again, if you like diversity, your family's gonna love this area. And while it may not sound like it, based on what we've talked about thus far, Queen Village actually offers a residential vibe. Now, if you're right on South Street, certainly that's gonna be a bit more lively, a little bit more noisy, but everywhere else in Queen Village is essentially a residential vibe. You really have to drive the area to see, but it's very quaint, it's very residential, it's a great place to raise a family. There are lots of low-key coffee shops, cafes in the area. There are restaurants south of South Street, actually into Queen Village. It's not just on South where there are restaurants, but there's lots of stuff going on throughout Queen Village, and it really does have this residential vibe, but there's mixed in and dispersed throughout that are those amenities that you'll find very convenient. Many families call this neighborhood home due to the highly rated public schools here, numerous parks, green spaces, and its proximity to Penn's Landing is also super helpful for both convenience to get to work if you're potentially using the interstate, or to experience the activities on Penn's Landing, and there's a ton of that for kids. Housing options in Queen Village are going to be diverse as well, but the majority of the home options here are going to be 2 or 3 story townhomes, some with garages, some in little small gated communities, but most of them coming with street parking. And to give you an idea of pricing, the median home price here in the neighborhood in 2023 was somewhere around $580,000. And pricing in the neighborhood is really all over the map, unfortunately, like all areas of the city, but a healthy budget for a 3-bedroom plus townhome for you, probably gonna be somewhere between $500,000 and $1 million, and easily north of $1 million depending on the size and other factors. So if you've got kids or plan to have them, Queen Village is really a stellar place to raise a family. And niche.com actually agrees with me. It ranked this area the number 2 best neighborhood to live in Philadelphia and the number 2 best neighborhoods to raise a family in Philadelphia. And real quick, before we dive into our top neighborhood for families, as much as we love making these videos, we love helping people relocate to the Center City Philly area even more. So if you are remotely considering moving here in the next few months or even the next few years, it's never too early to get actionable information. So just shoot us a quick email. All of our contact info is below, and we'd love to help you out on your home buying process. There are so many great neighborhoods for you and your family in Philadelphia, it can be tough to narrow it down to just 4. However, I didn't want this video to be over an hour talking about all these neighborhoods, which is why it's been limited to 4. However, I wanted to really quickly give a couple honorable mentions before we get into my top pick. These are a couple areas you could do some research on or watch other videos that I have on this channel. So that'd be Chestnut Hill, Washington Square West, Northern Liberties, and Logan Square. These are all great neighborhoods with awesome amenities, convenient locations, and really many things that your family would be lucky to have should you choose one of these neighborhoods. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet to see more of these neighborhood tours coming up, or check the link in the description below. I've already made some neighborhood tour videos of these particular areas so you could explore them in a little bit more depth. Now, coming in at number 1 for my top neighborhood in all of Philadelphia for families is Fitler Square. Fitler Square is a choice location in Philly that you and your family would absolutely love. It's home to historical architecture, tree-lined streets, and an inviting community you simply won't want to live without. Fitler Square is just west of Rittenhouse and just south of Logan Square, and this is absolutely my #1 pick for where to raise a family in Philly if you have the budget for it. And let me tell you why. The schools, public and private, are top tier in this area. The Philadelphia School on the private side and Greenfield on the public side are two of the top rated schools in the city with a great school community. Fitler Square has an urban tranquility vibe that is pretty unique to this city. Like we said, it borders Rittenhouse Square, but you don't live in the hustle and bustle of what Rittenhouse offers. Instead, you have a peaceful and serene, tranquil retreat from the noise whenever you need it. With the option, of course, to take a few minutes to walk or hop into an Uber to access really everything you need in the Rittenhouse or the Center City area, the busier areas of the city. The nightlife in Fitler Square is fairly relaxed. It's very different from what you're going to find in Rittenhouse or other parts of Center City. There's going to be a laid back, a residential feel here. You're going to be surrounded by families and plenty of activities such as year-round farmers markets and amenities like that you'll enjoy with your family. Everything is walkable in Fitler Square. It offers beautiful scenery. You're going to be surrounded by wide open parks and green spaces, and most notably, the one that we've been talking about a few times at this point, which is the Schuylkill River Trail, park, playground, dog park, all of that. One massive amenity. That is originating, all those amenities are in Fitler Square. The trail starts in Fitler Square and goes straight up through a lot of other neighborhoods, but the park, the playground, the dog park, all of that is actually in Fitler Square. So if you like that amenity, if that sounded appealing from what I've been saying thus far, Fitler Square might be where you want to be. Great for kids, obviously great for pet lovers, really great for families. Lots of fresh air, clean air, lots of great views. You can go on a bike ride with your kids in this area. You can go on a run, jog, whatever. Let your kids get out their energy. This is really a great place for families. This is also the same location we've been talking about that's convenient to the South Street Bridge. Very easy to get right over into University City if you happen to work in one of those medical facilities or hospitals over there, or in academia maybe at Penn or Drexel or another college, or something else in University City. There's a lot of jobs there. It's a great area, easy to get over into that area. You can also get to downtown Market Street where all the tall, high-rise office complexes are if you work on Market Street. Fairly convenient area for a lot of jobs. And many of your neighbors in the area are going to work in similar locations, so it's really a great place to find community here. Speaking of community, there is the best fitness and social club in all of the city, in my opinion, right here, and that's called the Fitler Club. Great social and fitness club, top of the line amenities for your fitness and health needs, but it's also a social club, so build those relationships and get active in a community. But one of the things that's unique about this club in particular, especially as it relates to families, is that most of the social clubs in the city don't really orient around the family. This one does. There is babysitting, so when you're going to work out, you can drop off your kids here to get babysat, but it also has other functions that are geared around the whole family, where you can bring your family and have a Sunday barbecue, for instance, or other events that they put on that are geared around towards the family. Really a great club. I would highly recommend you to join it, especially if you decide that Fitler Square is the place that you should call home. And don't just take my word for it. Niche.com ranks the Fitler Square neighborhood as the #1 choice in 2003 for the best neighborhoods to raise a family in all of Philadelphia. Overall, Fitler Square is a great neighborhood that gives families a sense of community that you really cannot find in a lot of major cities. Now, to give you some pricing insights in the Fitler Square neighborhood, the median price here in 2023 was somewhere around $845,000, again in 2023, and about half of the homes that sell here sell for $900,000 or greater. So essentially think $1 million or above, half of the homes will be in that price point. Periodically, you'll see a home that's 3-bed, but is in a more affordable range for some. However, that's going to be a very small house and potentially not fit your family's needs. So if you're looking for a 3-bedroom townhome in this area, I would suggest a budget of at least $700,000, but again, quickly escalating north of $1 million. And a budget for a 2-bedroom condo, maybe between $300,000 to $600,000, or easily in the millions for a newer condo, in particular like at One Riverside, which is an amazing condo by the way, but you're going to be in the millions over there. I love this neighborhood and I'm often on the Schuylkill River Trail myself, soaking up some sun and getting some exercise. So if you like what we've talked about today about Fitler Square, reach out to me and I'll show you some stuff in the area. So while this is the priciest neighborhood that we've covered in this video so far, it really is undoubtedly one of the best neighborhoods in Philadelphia to call home. And as always, if I could help in any way, just shoot me a quick email. All my contact info is below. And if you'd like to see some of my other neighborhood tours, click this video right here to see what might be great for you and for your family.